So tileable textures really do help when it comes down to like special effects or some nifty animation. Here I got like a 3D thing coming out of the ground of oozing cobblestone. But the point is it's tileable, so you can make some kind of cool special effect. So I'll show you how to use tileable textures using the offset command, and then you can make them into ground planes. You can turn them into sky textures so the clouds are going by. Whatever you do with them, the imagination is your only obstacle. Alright, so let's just make a new composition here, or a new project. And let's go in and import a file. Let's import that cobblestone that I made. Import it as footage. Okay, and immediately if I drop this down to here, it will make it the same size as the cobblestone. So in this case, I think that cobblestone was 1024 or 2048 as far as the texture is concerned. Okay, so it's pretty big. All right, now if I go in here and I look for effects, we have offset. So I could take this offset, go in here, drag it down, and it'll say offset. Okay, I can hit center and it'll center it within the 1024 world. So this is a 1024 texture, and that means if I go to take it here, go to effects, go to offset, and click shift to center, and then I type in, let's say 2048, that will be double that. So 1024 there, and then move my timeline, and then type in 2048. Okay, there we go. So now this is what's going to happen. I got a moving texture. And it's based upon the rate of moving here. So if I said, well, I want that to be a lot shorter, it's all me just going in here and saying, well, from here to here is actually going to be the amount of time for that composition. The closer I get these together, the faster it goes. Okay. Now the other alternative is to triple that. So I could delete that, make the composition big, and type in what, 4096. So in that case, it goes a little faster for a longer period of time. So just keep that in mind. Now that I have that as a composition, let's go back to my project. And let's make a new composition. This time I'll make it the composition setting I want, 1920 by 1080. And I can drag the cobblestone into it. It's still animated. And now this allows me to click here, hold shift, and just like the last lesson, I made it so it was 3D. So let's go ahead and first mask it off like I did before. So ellipse tool, hold shift. Okay, still animated. See, it's animated within the mask now. Okay, I can even try to do that shape with the feather. Let's feather that out. What happens then? Oh yeah, perfect. Cool. And then I could go in here and make it 3D. Now there's a lot of other things you could do over here as far as that is concerned. There's so many different possibilities, it's pathetic. One example is that I could go to polar coordinates and then drag one of those in here too. So we're kind of studying the distort variation. Now, one of the distorts is a polar to rectangle. I can go like this. Okay, or a rectangular to polar. So let's take a look at that. And now I got this kind of oozing puddle. Now if I turn that into a 3D object and then go in here and rotate it, I usually click on the transform just to make sure I get something like this. And then I can go in also and do the positioning. Now for me to position this doesn't mean too much, because really there's no camera involved here. So at this point I need to start introducing camera. And if I want to get rid of this black, all I do is have to duplicate this one. So Shift D or Control C, Control V, and then I can rotate this one around. There we go. So now let's take a look at that. See, oozing puddle of cool. Alright, now let's check out that camera I was talking about. Let's go into Layer, New, Camera, and we'll choose 24mm. And using the camera tool, we'll track. Just like that. And I'll just pan down, and then we got this. Now that first one, or that second one I made a copy of, it would be cool if it had it looked like a rip or an opening in there, and that's what warp is. So warp allows you to, or is it not warp? Mesh warp, that's what it is. So mesh warp allows you to do this. If I hold Shift, I get to highlight these cool mesh points, and then I can make some changes just like that. Yeah. So you just gotta use your imagination to where, if you want like a pit that goes down in there, that's a good way to do that pit effect. Okay, now if we wanted something to raise out of this, what we would do is create some text or whatever. And if I want like this, I couldn't, it doesn't go down into the object, right? Because it's not 3D. So if I click on the 3D, now it is, it's 3D, and I can have it raised up. And depending upon where it's at in the world, as far as the camera is concerned, as long as I didn't move it too much with its positioning, I can make some finite changes to this position right here and make it like that. Then zoom out, and I can position it where it needs to go inside that little tunnel I made. So right about there. Okay, cool. I can position it, hit time, go like this, raise it up, and this is what I get. and depending on how fast you want it. So right now this whole composition is really long. It's very dragged out. Okay? And how would I increase the speed? Well, very easily. I could go in here to the project. This is a composition all in itself. The speed happens like this. So right here, here, and now I got a third one. Okay, again, composition 2 looks like this. Okay, so in composition 2, I drag this one down. And now I have the ability to time remap. So let's go Layer, Time, Enable Time Remapping. And let's say I want this to be shorter. A lot shorter. Perfect. So that's what I like doing. I like to have a separate composition that deals with time. And then I can adjust it later on if I feel that it's too slow or too fast. I could just adjust these simple keyframes and then they'll adjust everything. Now it still needs some work, but other than that, that's how you would maybe possibly use a tileable texture. And those are some different effects that you can use in the Distort menu. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed. Let's go on to the next video.